So here at Nightfall, I'm known as a data breach expert, given my previous role and experience reporting on breaches. And I use that expertise and knowledge to write reports and blog posts analyzing data breaches. Earlier this year, I wrote a report on GitHub breaches, and I found four breaches in particular that were worth kind of retelling on this webinar. The first of which is probably the most infamous. In 2016, Uber had a data breach affecting 57 million users and costing the company 148 million in fines. And if you count in the bad publicity for hiding the breach, probably more in reputational damage. The hackers who actually hacked Uber were responsible for a variety of hacks across tech companies. The most notable was lynda.com, an e-learning site that was bought by LinkedIn at the time. And their scheme was effectively they would take public credentials that they found in previous data leaks, and they built a credential checking tool that would let them verify if credentials worked for corporate GitHub accounts. And once they were inside these accounts, they would then look for hard-coded secrets and use those to access other critical systems like AWS. And so this sort of illustrates the issue is not just that data is leaking or secrets are leaking, but also that secrets can be exfiltrated from private repos as well. And then in 2019, a security researcher by the name of Vinod Kumar found credentials on a SolarWinds account for GitHub. It was believed to access a SolarWinds FTP server. It's not known if this is responsible for the SolarWinds breach. I don't believe it's believed to be responsible, but the data was indexed as early as 2018. Kumar noted that it was on the Wayback Machine on Internet Archive, archives tool, and it wasn't remediated until 2020. This is a good illustration of how long it can take to remediate data leakage issues like this. And in January of 2020, Canadian Telecoms Rogers left up several repos, including passwords and usernames and private keys for what's believed to be code that was no longer in production. We talked about this breach, and even assuming if the code was no longer in use, leaving details like this up is critical because it can leave insights into your system architecture. For example, what languages your developers tend to use, what types of encryption keys they might use. So overall, it's still a risky thing to leave up. And then last summer, an independent security researcher found 9 repos exposing up to 200,000 patients' PHI. These repos were publicly searchable with queries like Medicaid password FTP and company name password. Again, illustrating how easy it is to leak not just secrets, but also PHI and PII and other types of identifiers in these systems.